that officials are caught in a bind that could spell trouble for risk assets. Let's bring in XM Australia CEO Peter McGuire. Peter, good to have you with us. Of course, this chart on the Bloomberg, just right off the bat, we're seeing financial conditions starting to ease again. This is not what the Fed has wanted to see. Will they need to address this, and what does it mean for assets?
Well, I think it's good morning. I think it creates headaches. Naturally, we're going to be interested what they discuss this week and what the rhetoric coming out, Jay Powell and his gang. So we've had a very strong move to the upside naturally over those last 8 weeks as far as US equities. And is that going to maintain over the September-October period, or are we going to see a pullback? And there's many analysts saying that we're going to see a pullback. It's been the unwinding as far as short bets and hedge funds and options and all those sort of things. So this is the dilemma that the Fed's facing and how they move forward.
And of course, we have seen the dollar already rising to that best week since April 2020 or so. It's been a good week, just to say that the greenback has continued to rally. If we do see a pullback in financial conditions because of what the Fed does, what does that mean for the U.S. currency?
Well, I think first off, it's the best of a bad bunch. So there we face it. It's currently sitting at over 108 for that US dollar index. You've seen the yen being hammered. It got smashed last week. The euro at parity, the pound going under massive, push to the downside. So the overall on the commodity currencies are being, smashed as well, Kiwi and the Aussie. So the US dollar seems to be king dollars reigning supreme. Traders are loving it. And I think that there's probably further upside, maybe that 109 handle by the end of the month.
Peter, when you take a look at the Australian earnings season, how does it compare to what has been kind of a collective sigh of relief in the US? What does the next, 6 months really hold in terms of the guidance that we had so far?
I think the major concern is what we're looking as far as the domestic situation in Australia, wage growth, what we're doing with inflation, the general consensus on Main Street, the herd out there. We all understand the conditions that we're all facing and, high energy costs and so on. So how that rolls across to the balance sheets and the performance of equity markets and the large companies is going to be interesting. It could be it might be a very tough time, I think, for domestic equities leading up to Christmas. So we're just sitting on our hands looking and seeing opportunities, but I think its volatility is going to start to ramp up over the next matter of weeks.
Which will be interesting when it comes to this, not just rotation into growth with what you're seeing with the NASDAQ 100, but the rotation back into these meme stocks, right? What do you make of that, Peter, in addition to the bounce that we're starting to see across crypto as well?
Well, exactly. I'll tell you what, the meme stocks have been outstanding over the last couple of weeks to look at and just observe. Traders are loving it. I'm really get off on the chatter that you hear and, all the comments. So it's I can see why so many traders enjoy those interactions. It's global and the opportunities are immense. So, yeah, I can't go out there and say hand on heart what's going to be the next one to follow, but they're never short of surprises, and you've only got to look at Bed Bath over the last couple of days to really take an appreciation of what's going on with some of these stocks.
Peter McGuire, good to have you with us, XM Australia CEO.